and Peacock every Monday and Wednesday during primetime with Made in the Marianas. A captivating night of shows and programs, all made in our region. From local lifestyle features to KUAM news and sports specials, Made in the Marianas entertains, inspires, and shares the best in our community. Brought to you every Monday and Wednesday by Docomo Pacific. Tomorrow's Islands today. And Calvo Enterprise.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime. The active search for 28-year-old Nico Kamacho has been called off by authorities, but his community is saying loud and clear, until we find you, we will never stop searching. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with a story coming up.
We are on week 2 back to school, but our Sharks and Titans are not returning to the classroom for the time being. I'm Don Sulet, and tonight we speak with Sanchez students on how they felt during their first week back to school.
And some future grandmasters have been honing their problem-solving and pattern recognition skills as Team Guam prepares for the Chess Olympiad in Europe. Hafide Guam and good evening. I'm Jason Salas. We are KUAM. This is Prime Time, and these are tonight's top stories on this Monday. Well, active search operations have ended for 28-year-old Nico Kamacho, the man reported missing in the waters off Gun Beach last Sunday. Authorities called off the search Friday as they were unable to find the missing swimmer throughout the 5 days of extensive search efforts. But as Mitsuki Hirayama reports in our top story, loved ones are holding on to hope and praying that Nico finds his way back home.
Flowers float down Tumon Bay, where family, friends, and colleagues of 28-year-old Nico Kamacho hold a vigil Friday evening. Behind them, a backdrop of the setting sun over the very waters Kamacho loved, a reflection of the hope his loved ones are holding together as they pray the flowers guide his way back home. On August 14, Kamacho was swept beyond the reef line at Gun Beach in Tumon, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. His mom, who just arrived on Guam earlier Friday, told those gathered at the vigil it was his birthday that day. Throughout 5 days of extensive search efforts, Kamacho has not been located. The Guam Fire Department and the Coast Guard made the joint decision to end the active search operation at 6 p.m. Friday. But while the search has been called off by authorities, his community is saying loud and clear, quote, "Until we find you, we will never stop searching." Many sharing memories of Kamacho as a man who lit up any room he walked in, someone who loved to dance, and a brother they fondly call Macho.
Every interaction that you had with Nico was special in its own way.
One thing we have to say about Nico is he was our, I'm not going to say HR has favorites. HR does not have favorites. We love all of our employees, but he was the boy of HR.
He was always unapologetically himself.
His walk with God was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen.
Tonight I felt like I lost my brother. But with the Kuyas and everyone that's, the boys that are watching, we always try to remind ourselves that, Nico doesn't want us to be like this. Nico wants us to always stay strong and keep up the positive vibe, because gosh, I can still hear his high-pitched voice entering the room. Kuya Macho, and he will always change the energy no matter how bad you're feeling or how bad your day is going. And I know the boys can vouch for this, and whoever danced with him, every time he always entered the room, he would always come up with this energy to just turn everything around. And our brother will be for sure missed, and know that he will always be our angel.
It's with that reminder to live life like Nico. Loved ones send off one last message in his memory in hopes it's, quote, loud enough for him to hear. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Thanks, Mitsuki. Well, in the meantime, the family and emergency personnel are urging the public to remain vigilant and call 911 if you see anything that could help bring Nico home. Let's move on in our rundown now, as Guam State Historic Preservation Officer Patrick Lujan has been placed on administrative leave following an arrest on allegations of assault and strangulation. Confinement records show that Lujan remains in custody. He was not magistrated Monday, and details surrounding the allegations have not yet been made public. Governor Lulian Guerrero called the allegations, quote, serious and deeply concerning, saying that Lujan's administrative leave is effective immediately while the legal process does move forward. The governor also announced Carlotta Leon Guerrero will serve as acting state historic preservation officer to ensure the office's work continues without interruption. She also stressed Lujan is entitled to due process and the presumption of innocence, adding that law enforcement and the court should be allowed to do their work. The governor used the case to urge anyone in the community experiencing abuse or violence to seek help, saying they, again quoting her, do not have to suffer in silence. To public policy matters now, lawmakers voted to pass the governor's fiscal year 2027 budget with a vote of 13-2. The new budget maintains the business privilege tax cut at 4%, but keeps the BPT at 5% for the military buildup. Senators Chris Barnett and Will Parkinson were the only lawmakers to vote against the bill. We previously reported that the Democratic senators criticized the governor for caving in, as they said, to Republican demands, saying her concerns about the tax cut were right. The governor previously vetoed the legislature's version of the GovGuam-wide spending package, warning the BPT reduction to 4% would lead to a $40 million shortfall that cuts funding for health care, public safety, and education. But Leon Guerrero ultimately compromised the BPT in her proposal, with her financial leaders citing a lack of political will to maintain the BPT at 4.5%. To cover the gap caused by the tax cut, her budget proposal relies on $18 million in corporate income tax collections expected in fiscal 27, and more than $7.5 million and $2.4 million, respectively, in fiscal year 2026 excess revenues for child care subsidies and the Workers' Compensation Fund. The bill was amended by Senator Tello Taitigui to keep the BPT at 5% for military contractors relative to Guam's military buildup. The Guam Economic Development Authority testified during special session last week that BPT revenue collections would be impacted by some $33 million if the mandated 4% tax cuts did take place. As we reported over the weekend on social media, the Guam Election Commission has certified the results of the 2026 primary election after counting more than 220 provisional and absentee ballots. Now, these additional votes did not change the gubernatorial frontrunners, and on the Republican side, Vice Speaker Tony Atta and his running mate E.J. Calvo finished with 5,179 votes ahead of Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and Mary Okada, who had 3,367 votes. Now, for the Democrats, Senators Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez maintained their lead with 6,446 votes, besting Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Rose Munoz Barnes with 5,994, while Senator Joe San Agustin and former Senator Dwayne San Nicolas had better than 1,000 votes. The final count did shift one position in the Democratic legislative ballot, with Fred Bordallo moving into 9th place ahead of Angela Santos. For the GOP, a mandatory recount was conducted for Joseph Arreola and Alexander Duenas, who were separated by 15 votes. Arreola remained ahead with 3,189 to Duenas' 3,174, securing the final qualifying spot. Therefore, the Republican senatorial candidates who did not advance to the general election are Alexander Duenas, Brandon Vera, and Robert Benevinti. For the Democrats, Dave Duenas, Lillian Guerrero, and Jerry Yingling will not advance. The GEC reconvenes on the 18th to ratify the nonpartisan ballots and candidate placements for the November 3rd general election. Early voting will be held October the 8th through the 28th at the Westin, starting at 10 in the morning. In health-related news now, the island is set to host the 2026 Tuberculosis Controllers Association Conference, with the event bringing together TB and public health professionals across the region to combat the disease. Here's KUAM's Don Sulat, who spoke with the coalition's president on this topic.
Guam will be hosting the 4-day 2026 Pacific Islands Tuberculosis Controllers Association Conference for the first time since 2009. The goal? To gather professionals from the U.S.-affiliated Pacific Islands, Hawaii, and international partner organizations together to strengthen regional collaboration and advance TB prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and control. There are 27 speakers slated for the 4-day event, which include President of the National Tuberculosis Coalition of America and DPHSS Program Manager Chima Mbakwa.
The conference is meant to provide new information about TB. We're going to talk about new approaches to diagnostics. We're going to talk about TB in pediatrics. We're going to talk about TB and diabetes. So this has to do with a lot of, the conference has a lot to do with the current TB landscape that is going on in the world.
KUAM tells KUAM that he will be speaking in a different capacity as Guam is hosting the event. As for what he will be speaking on, KUAM says he will talk about Guam's complex TB cases, like in 2024 when we saw 2 multi-drug resistant pediatric cases.
The first time in the island that we've had such a case. And that complex case, we had to take care of that complex case with the support of the CDC, the support of the Southeastern National TB Center, which is one of the CDC centers of excellence. It is based out of Florida. We also had to work with FDA because this was the first time that we are using the medications that we use for those kids.
KUAM also giving us a sneak peek on another case he'll be talking about, a relapse one where the individual is a diabetic who was treated using the new MDR, which is in the tablet.
This is the first time they were using those tablets. And after treatment, his treatment failed. So CDC was involved in this treatment. The Corey International TB Center was also part of that treatment. And lessons learned from that is what we're going to discuss because we see a lot of TB and diabetes on the island.
The conference is slated for September 10th to the 14th. According to KUAM, the Saturday and Sunday portion is a way to include Guam's medical providers who are typically busy throughout Monday through Friday. The original registration deadline has been extended from August 14th to Friday, August 21st. If you would like to register, you can do so by visiting currytbcenter.ucsf.edu. For KUAM News, I'm Don Sulet.
Please stay tuned, everybody, because Primetime will continue right after this. You're watching KUAM.
Let's do this. Pack the backpack. Fill the lunchbox. Cover the basics. Start new adventures. Whatever's on the schedule, Kmart has everything you need, all in one stop. Kmart, let's make a great school year.
The new Red Bull Dragonberry Energizer is now at McDonald's.
Safety starts with knowledge. Join the Guam Contractors Association for the 2026 GCA Safety Conference. Thursday and Friday, August 27th and 28th at the Dusitani Guam Resort Ballroom. This 2-day conference features valuable safety training for all industries, helping create safe workplaces for the government, military, private sector, and our entire community. The conference is open to the general public. For registration and more information, call the GCA office at 647-4840. Be safe, Guam.
Welcome back, everybody, to Primetime. A Department of Corrections inmate accused of receiving meth inside boxes of candy could soon receive a plea deal. Ezekiel Whalen appeared before Superior Court. Attorneys provided an update on the case stemming from a May 2025 contraband investigation. Whalen's attorney, Rochelle Canto, told the court she's waiting for a plea offer from prosecutors with an update expected by the 20th. Whalen is accused of receiving meth concealed inside 2 boxes of raisin nets allegedly brought to him by his brother, then corrections officer Brian Whalen. Ezekiel Whalen faces felony drug and contraband charges along with misdemeanor offenses, while Brian Whalen was separately tried in March and acquitted of the drug charges but convicted of misdemeanor official misconduct. Ezekiel is due back in court September 3rd for another update on plea negotiations. The Department of Public Health and Social Services, in other news, is returning summer EBT card services to regular weekday hours following the end of extended operations. The agency says more than 7,400 summer EBT cards were distributed during the extended hours at the RanCare building in Tamuning, with families who have not yet picked up their cards able to do so Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at the benefits issuance window on the 2nd floor of that Tamuning facility. Eligible families can pick up unclaimed cards or get health troubleshooting card issues. Public Health is encouraging families with unclaimed summer EBT cards to pick them up as soon as possible, and for assistance, families can contact the Bureau of Economic Security or call the Summer EBT Call Center. If you enjoy American Ninja Warrior, the finals continue Tuesday night with Week 2 right here on KUAM as round-robin head-to-head racing between all of the ninjas will ultimately lead to a grand prize at the month's end. Here's more about the pursuit.
The challenge will be to avoid a mistake.
And that is tough when you're trying to mix speed and precision.
Oh! He felt the pressure to go fast, and he made a mistake.
The races in Week 1 of the American Ninja Warrior Finals.
Oh, no! Jackson hit the water.
Produced surprises, but also some stellar performances.
And that's the fastest finish so far.
For so long, it was just the ninjas versus the clock and the course.
Yeah.
But now you've got this element of the races. How much has that changed the game?
That adds so much more pressure. It's already enough pressure when you've got millions of people at home watching you. Kudos to these ninjas because they've really stepped it up.
And often Zuri Hall witnesses the athletes elevating their game as competition continues into the wee hours.
It's exciting. People always ask, how do you guys stay awake? How do you stay energized? We're filming through the night, trying to beat sunrise, but it's so hard not to be completely locked in. Good or bad, up or down, the runs blow your mind. I never get sick of being there.
The pursuit of the show's $250,000 grand prize continues Monday night.
What are we in for with Week 2?
It just feels like when they can't go any faster, they still find another gear. And that's what's great, is pushing each other. And then some of the heartbreaking stumbles. The stakes have never been higher.
Mark Barger, NBC Entertainment.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Now, the governor said many times that she loves reading to her grandchildren. So for back to school, we're taking you down to Agатna at the Nieves and Flores Public Library, where we see a mural of the governor reading to kids.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports more than 50,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 5 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $163 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,700 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry, helping make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism. Brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau, celebrating over 55 years of tourism.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Wisely kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying, it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it. Couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Attention contractors and future homeowners. Join the Guam Contractors Association for its industry fair on Friday, August 28th at the Dasatani from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Discover the latest products, services, equipment, and innovations from Guam's construction industry. Admission is free. All are welcome. Come network, explore, and find inspiration for your next project. For more information, call the GCA 671-647-4840. We'll see you there.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Okay, cool. Adjective. Look it up in Webster's Dictionary. You know what's cool? This jacket. This is from our National Chess Federation team. I was telling you about that earlier in the show. Our chess team is amazing, and when they go off to Uzbekistan, we are sending them all of our support. Good luck, guys. All right. Awesome, awesome jacket. All right, you know what else is cool? Things to do around the community, and that's what we do here on News Bites. First of all, Golf Challenge is coming up. I've been telling you guys about this for weeks, so I hope you've been working on your game. I hope you've registered. I hope you're saying a few prayers that the weather down at CCP is going to be really, really good, because the 30th is coming up real fast, and I hope to see you there, because we will be there, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing time. UOG always puts on awesome events, because that's what we do at Triton State University. Bloom in Hope is again Vero, Victim Advocates reaching out. That is their annual gala, and to show our support for Vero and the wonderful resources and the network of programs that they provide for crime victims, we are going to make sure that we go there and get a table, support them, and we want to see you there as well. Thank you, Vero, for what you do for our community. All right, Fair 2026 is starting on Wednesday, so I'm going to be there, and we're going to show you all of the vendors. Do you say hoteliers or hoteliers? All right, I've heard it's pronounced both ways, but whatever the pronunciation. The commitment to hospitality here on our island is unwavering, and we are going to showcase everything that is going to get tourism back to where it needs to be, all right? Really, really exciting. This is the trade show of the year. I've done it a bunch of times, always a good time, all right? And then the Veg Run, the 5th annual. It is global, right? Show our support for veggies. And you guys, you got to eat more veggies, right? Leafy greens, wonderful carrots, tomatoes. Yeah, eat more salad. It's a wonderful thing. And you know what? Get involved with the Veg Run, because it's a 2K and 5K. Lots of prizes. It is going to be absolutely amazing time, and we are celebrating health, getting healthy, and living healthy every single day. Not just the day of the run, but 365 days a year. That's what we do here on News Bites. You know what we also do at this point in the program? We say happy birthday to these amazing people. Here are tonight's birthday shoutouts. 2 birthdays for you on the 17th of August today, Stephanie and Christine. First to Stephanie, happy birthday to you, Steph. Wishing you a beautiful birthday filled with love, happiness, and many blessings, may this next chapter be extra special as you await the arrival of your precious little one. Congratulations. And your family says, please enjoy your special day. Congratulations and happy birthday to you, Stephanie. And Christine Sablan, happiest of birthdays to you. Your family is sending you all the love in the world. And a smiling emoji with the 2 hearts for eyes. That's a real nice one. So Stephanie and Christine, blessings to you both and happy birthday. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. All right, everybody, please do not change the channel. Do not swipe past. Keep the stream going right now because coming up, we have this week's episode of The Interview with our Don Salat. Sits down with Simon Sanchez students to get their views on how things are looking for them following their first week back to school, as they are now forced into online learning following the shutdown of the Teadsing campus due to a failed public health inspection. That is coming up right now.
Havade Todo Samsu Santiro, I'm Don Sulat, and welcome to this segment of The Interview. I'm joined to my left, juniors Rika Mayrose Macaranas, Zoe Mariana Toigui, and over here, senior from the Simon Sanchez High School, Shane Curley, correct? Welcome. Thank you guys for your time and joining us today here at the KUAM studios. Real quick, we mentioned off camera, you guys are actually officers for your respective classes student body, correct? Can you just go ahead and say what position you guys hold?
I am the junior class treasurer.
Hi, I am the junior class president. Hi, I am the senior class vice president.
And what some might say not is anything but a warm welcome back for you guys. We just finished week 1 of the school year. How was the first week of school like for the 3 of you?
So to start off, for me, my experience with this first week, it was exciting, or it was a bunch of different emotions. It was really exciting because for me, about 4 years, I haven't had a normal schedule. So going back to going to school at 8:30 a.m. was really refreshing and exciting, but there were some challenges we did have to face, like the crowded hallways and just adapting to a new environment was really tricky. Our first week did get cut short, sadly, so it was just hard to go back to that new routine and then have to change again. So the adoption is just a really hard part for us.
Thank you for that, Zoe. Rika, Shane, any thoughts?
My first week was the same thing as Zoe's. It was also a bit frustrating, as since she mentioned about the challenges we went through, the crowding, also the busing, because some buses wouldn't come until after school until around 4:30 p.m. and we would go home late. And also, we only have half of the campus at Tizan, which is why it's super crowded in the hallways. So during our break time, it wasn't really a break, more of like a passing period.
And for you, Shane?
I agree with both of them. So my first week, since I'm a senior, we had all these like senior activities. We had senior crowns, senior first last day back in high school, which was exciting. But as the week continued, we experienced like a lot of challenges at this new environment, which we're grateful for Tizan to be able to house us. But upon learning that they've been living in this campus with like not reliable air conditioners, broken windows, it's like it gives us a glimpse to what was ignored by Tizan, and the fact that our government just allowed us to go to Tizan with those conditions. It was really disappointing, but yeah.
Right, and it's interesting you guys noted the bus schedule, because I interviewed your deputy superintendent and I brought that point up because we have folks that are coming from FBLG, and then how would the schedule work, right? Obviously the bus schedules work with Department of Public Works, so that was very interesting to note. That was my first time hearing it off camera, so I wanted to get that on the record actually, because DOE actually mentioned that they didn't see a problem with the bus schedule, but from my friends who are parents or even teachers at Tizan High and Sanchez, they brought that up too. I was just under the impression that it was folks picking up their kids, right? Because you have some parents who have younger kids that go to FBLG, then they have to make the quick drive, not even anything but quick, to Tizen. So that was I was more concerned about those who get dropped to school. So to hear from you guys that the bus actually is late to send you guys home, that's actually very surprised, but not really. I kind of anticipated that, but it's unfortunate. But to go on to the next portion, how are you guys feeling? You mentioned, Zoe, that you guys' first week was actually cut short. You were only on campus for 4 days. How are you feeling? And now you're forced to go into asynchronous learning for the time. Some are saying it could be as short as a week, maybe 2 weeks, but let's just be realistic in that approach. But so we'll say for the foreseeable future, how are you guys feeling about that?
Well, as Shane mentioned, the Tizen campus, there were problems like broken windows, the no aircon, and then the bathrooms as well. So it's just really disappointing to a lot of us students and frustrating that we feel that this situation could have been avoided if done right. Because as we know, before opening for school, they all need to get inspected by public health, I believe. And they came in around Wednesday, so we were just wondering, why are they only doing it as we're in school? Like, why now? Why not before we started school? To make sure that all of these students, not just Sanchez, but also Tizen, because it's their school and they're welcoming us. So why didn't they inspect them to make sure that all these students in this campus are safe, everything's sanitary, and we can all learn in a comfortable environment? Because after they inspected us midway, now they're shut down. So now both schools have to suffer in a asynchronous learning, which can be online or even hard copy. And that's just really discouraging for a lot of us students, because this type of learning is not a learning to us, because we can't talk to our peers to help us with homework or just encouragement. And the main thing also about school is we can socialize with others and learn together and grow, but it's hard because now we're just at home and like stuck in a box. So it's just making our learning really difficult and another challenge for us to go through.
I agree with what Zoe said, because I remember seeing a post saying that all schools were ready to open, but then as the week of school went on, they did the health inspection and said that it's not sanitary and that it needs to be shut down. And it's just that, how can you guys post that and then continue to say that the school is being shut down as soon as we get into the school? And for the asynchronous learning, it's really hard because sometimes some students don't have access to reliable Wi-Fi, electronics, and hard copy. Some students have a hard time learning it just by reading it and writing it down, because some of them, they learn better with a physical teacher being there, helping them. Because also with the peers, we help each other out. We don't leave them on their own to suffer. And I feel it's just so sad to see that we're going back to this kind of learning, as what we went through back in COVID-19. Because my experience back then, I did not really learn anything at all.
Yeah, agreeing with both of them, it's really disappointing to have our first week just cut off very abruptly. And it not only affects the students, but it also affects the teachers, because now they have to change their teachers' plan. They have to change their tactics on how to approach to give their students a learning opportunity. And being asynchronous, it's really challenging because I feel like it's not as engageful compared to if students are in the classroom with a teacher to provide them the support. So it's really disappointing, to say the least.
Right. So fun fact here at the KUAM room, and every time for some reason I go on the desk to talk about it, I actually used to be the spokesperson for public health and social services. And you're right about the school inspection too. Originally they were actually slated to be, they being Tizen High, for August 21st. So the permit was still valid when Tizen had their B initially before they got into the D, it was still valid. So that's, I think, and I'm not speaking on behalf of DOE, I want to put it out there, but I think that's how they were able to open it. But then, you know, you guys are, as you guys would say, chronically online. Reports, right, making its way on social media after the first day back to school. The health inspection actually, the report actually said they came in due to complaints of a clogged toilet and a termite infestation. So that, to me, like, that stuff that could have been, you're right, like, it could, what was school doing or the landlord doing prior to getting the school opened? Because even though the permit was still valid, we still want to make sure you got it's good for not just the students, but also for the teachers to come in a safe working environment too, right? So that's very interesting to hear for you guys' firsthand experience. And now, did you going on into it for years, right? Especially post Typhoon Mawar. It's unfortunate you guys have been without a home and you have been in this weird situation. This coming, or were you actually
I was hopeful at the start because the schedule seemed to be working, and both schools, we were separated and we were all on good terms, I would say. But as the week did go on, I did see more problems with the campus itself. And I did expect, once I heard that public health was in the campus or on the campus, I did expect us to get shut down. However, I did not expect us to be on asynchronous learning because after COVID stopped and we went back to face-to-face, a lot of students and teachers and staff expressed how hard that was as a learning situation because, like Rika and Shane said, we don't really learn. It's not a learning environment for us. So I thought maybe we would go back to double session. That was the first thought that came to my head, or we would just go to a different school. So the online learning was a shock to all of us students. Like, we did not expect it. So once that came out, all these students were so shocked and they were just asking everyone, like, is this real? Are you sure we're doing online? We're not going back to double session? Because that's what we're so used to, double session for 4 years. So that's what our normal is. So hearing online is just a new thing again, new but old, and it's just not what we expected to go on early into this year. Like our second week of school and we're back to online.
I was also pretty hopeful in the beginning, and then there's like so many posts coming in, and I was just like, this is the end of it, you know? And like, I was really hoping that it wasn't going to be shut down. Like I gave it the benefit of the doubt that it was just gonna be like, you know, they would look past it. But then again, after school, when I came home on Thursday, I was like, it shut down. I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought people were joking. And then I see like the actual like post, like, oh, school shut down until further notice. I was like pretty sad because although despite all the challenges we were going through, I really enjoyed going to school. Like, it was so nice going back for like a full 8 hours after going to school for like the past 3 years of only going to school for like a couple hours. It was nice to like finally get like the education that we needed.
Yeah, and I would agree because coming into my senior year, I felt really hopeful. I felt like this was a year where specifically my class, we could thrive in it because not only are we given like the right amount of education we needed, we were given like a proper schedule. TZM was also really welcoming to us to have us like for them to house us in their school. So I was really hopeful that this would be a normal year, at least in a campus where we could feel welcomed. But when it abruptly shut down again at like Wednesday, I was so sad. But because again, it's my senior year, I really had this positive mindset. I'm like, okay, it's shut down, but no worries, it's gonna come back. But then hearing that it's gonna be shut down until further notice, we're not given a specific date when we'll be back, I was really super sad about it.
Slow roasted chicken at Taco Bell. It's inside the new Cantina chicken rolled quesadilla. Yeah, it's in there. He gets it. the new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Plines hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
That leads me to my next question to you guys, and specifically more so for you, Shane, since you are a senior, and for you too as well. How does it feel? Because you guys never stepped foot on the actual GGO campus. Sorry, Max, came up real quick. On the GGO campus. And for you, you're an outgoing shark, but you're graduating, never stepped foot in there. And you just came into normalcy, quote unquote, with a regular school schedule, but now it's like you're back to online. You thought, for me, it was Zoom University, but for you guys, Zoom High School, I guess. But how does it feel? We'll start with you, Shane. You're outgoing, but you never had a physical place to call home.
So what's really unique about our shark community is that they really make us feel like we're at home, even without a physical home. Just us being together, it just feels super welcoming, which I really love about our school at Simon Sanchez. But again, without a school, it's just we're limited to what we can do. And it's very disappointing because I thought like high school would be like this High School Musical thing where we have so much activities, so much things, and we can learn at the same time. But without a school, ever since Typhoon Mawar, because of the damages and stuff, it's just disappointing to say the least. And ever since 2008, we've been advocating to the government how we need our school to be rebuilt just for our students back in GGO to flourish, But we continue to advocate to the government to please rebuild our school, at least start on the project. But again, we're just waiting on word for that.
As a junior, I haven't stepped foot as well in our campus. And to say the least, it's really hard. The most challenging part is it feels like we have to ask permission to show our pride in our school, like with events. But as Shane mentioned, our shark community, there's no word to describe it, honestly. The resilience that we have, the pride that we continue to show, and the hopefulness that you can see in all of us, despite all of these challenges faced, is what amazes me every day. Because a lot of them do want, because of the situation, parents have talked about transferring their students. But some of these students advocate for themselves because they see how amazing our shark community is. They don't want to leave this family because we're all so close and we're all bonding. All of the classes right now in our school, we're like one big family. And our staff, no matter the place, no matter our situation, they continue to show us that there's still hope and to keep that hope alive. And although we won't see our campus, like Shane said, this year felt like it could be the closest thing we would get to a normal high school experience. Coming to school at 8, leaving school at 3:30. We were just so excited because that's what we've been waiting for, because they say that high school is supposed to be like a high school dream. And although we are given some setbacks, we continue to try and make the most out of that dream and keep our pride. So I just hope that at least in the future, near future, that they can rebuild our school. The government will finally listen to our students and our students can advocate and use their voices, because I would say this is the perfect time for not only Sanchez, but for all these other schools to help advocate for us, like Season, and advocate for their school as well, because we're both not in a great situation because of the campus. So I just encourage all these students to advocate for what they feel is right.
I agree with the both of them, because when I was a kid, I was dreaming of going to high school and just having that experience. But then as the years went on and we started going to double session, and before I got into high school, I was planning to not go to Sanchez, because since they were doing double session with JFK, I was planning to just go to Ukuru High School. But I'm just glad that I didn't go to Ukuru and I stayed at Sanchez, because like as what they both said, the staff, even the students, like we don't give up no matter how hard it is. Like we strive through our events, like such as Shark Shella, Shark Shake-Up, Lip Dub, all of that stuff. And it goes to show that like no matter if we have a campus or not, it's the students and the staff that bring the life to it.
And that's good to hear. Fun fact, actually, Jason Salas and Matsuki Hirayama, two of our KUAM News team, they're actually alma mater. They're actually alumni, Shark alumni, and they actually carry pride. And as well as a few of my friends who are now teachers too, they actually brought up points too, because one of my friends specifically, his dad was there when Sanchez was built initially, and he's been told that since he was a kid that Sanchez is always going to get rebuilt. You brought back 08, right? It's been that long, right? Some of you were a wee lad at the time, until now we're hoping that something's being done. But that brings me to my next question. And Zoe, you mentioned that you're hopeful for it to be soon, but do you think it will be done for you guys as juniors before you graduate in the coming year? And for you, Shane, do you at least hope there might be a groundbreaking before you graduate?
I do want to hope that there would be a groundbreaking before I graduate, just so the classes below me could at least experience a campus back in Jigo to call their own. I feel like as students, we hold the power to voice out our concerns, to voice out our needs for this. What we need is a school back in our home community, which is Jigo. And we'll continue to advocate for that. And I hope to see that the government will listen, and that the government will at least give us a glimpse of hope that there will be a progress where our school will be rebuilt back in Jigo.
As for me, I do see hopefully a groundbreaking, at least in Shane's senior year or our senior year, because even though to some people it's just a groundbreaking, to us that's a major step, because we're finally another step closer to getting our home back. However, I feel like for at least our years, that's the most we will see as far for the campus. I do hopefully think that the classes below us can actually step foot into a new campus, because as time goes on, I think we can get the process done faster if students continue to advocate, because it's difficult having to place the burden of hosting us Sharks on every other school, because it's not always easy for them because it's their school. But all the schools that we have been to, the welcoming that we have felt was so warm, and just we're so grateful that they hosted us and treated us like with grace and kindness. But yeah, I just really hope at least within these next 1 to 2 years we can at least see a groundbreaking at most.
I agree with the both of them about seeing the groundbreaking soon, but with the rebuilding, I do hope it does happen, but I don't think it'll be like in the next 4 years or so. I feel like there's gonna be still a delay, and it will take about, hopefully not like 10 years, but like realistically, I feel like it will take 10 years. But I do hope that the students that do get to step into that new campus, I hope that they never have to leave it again. Like, I hope that this will be like a lesson and they learn from it to like not like ignore like the rebuilding and just get it done as soon as possible. Because this didn't just cost us like our time, it also cost us our education, our future also, because we had to like strive with like our education without a campus.
Right, and it's glad to see, it's actually heartwarming to see how much pride you guys have as Sharks without the physical place to call home, because that actually adds to your identity, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really unfortunate that the Shark building is there, but you can't step foot in it, right? Yeah, but with like FBLG reopening, does that kind of bring some kind of hope into you guys that some work is actually being done?
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
And again, it's unfortunate that you guys are getting further and further away from Jigo. First you're at Tamuning Tumon at JFK, now you're all the way at Tisan. There was I think someone was joking that, oh, pretty soon they're gonna be at Southern. But I'm like, jokes aside, is there some hope with FBLG reopening that, even though it's a middle school, that there might be some hope for you guys as a Tisan high school, as not just for our Tisan, not just for our Titans, but for you guys to the Sharks?
Yes, definitely. The moment I saw that they actually reopened, my hope went from here to up here, because that school, I only went to, when I was in FB, I only was able to attend that school for about a year and a half, so not even a full 2 years. So seeing that it finally opened, and as a former Hawk, my heart was just so full of happiness to see that they finally got their home back. Because if they can get their home back, so can we, and so can Tisan and every other school, because they deserve a home. But I would like to add, though, a home, or our pride is from not just a home, it's from things, it's something we carry. So despite us not having it, it's just, our hope's there, but with a campus, it feels like the sky, there's no limit with the sky, because there's so many possibilities, and we can unleash all that we have been holding back, sadly. But I really do have so much hope that they open, because I feel like maybe we're next. And I'm just excited to see what the future has in store.
I was super happy when I found out that FB reopened, because back when I was in middle school, I also was only there for only 1 year and a half. But then they're talking about it, saying how it wouldn't be fixed in years. But now seeing that it's open, I was jumping in joy, actually. And it's just I hope that'll be us in the next few years.
Unlike Rika, Mel, and Zoe here, I was in FB ever since 6th grade. However, for the first 2 years, I was online. So really, I stepped onto the campus during my 8th grade year. And seeing how it got reopened, it's just such a reassuring feeling. Because, in our 8th grade year, we were kicked out because of a health inspection. And then now in Tisan, we were kicked out again because of a health inspection. So really, my class is just, wow. But other than that, I feel some hope, because it just goes to show that our Jigo community is building slowly, but surely. And yeah, I just hope that in the upcoming years that our local middle school can finally experience going and transitioning to a local high school right next to them. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And any closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
For me, as the situation we're in right now, I would like to remind everyone that it's none of the school's fault. It's not Sanchez and it's not Season. It's not our staff. It's not any of them. But it's the one to blame at fault right now is our government, because it's just disappointing to see that we started in a year and we're already back into the situation, because we have to pay for consequences of actions that we did not cause. However, I would like to encourage my peers and just our generation right now to advocate for and use their voice for what they believe is right, which means making sure that everyone has a stable education, a stable campus, and to continue to use their voice, because right now that's the best leverage we have, is to use our voice, because as Shane and I believe Rika mentioned, we're the next future. And to make sure that we all deserve the future that we get, we need to continue to show what we have in us and use our voices no matter what.